When it comes to COVID-19, are we finally turning the corner? Health officials are saying as cases and deaths have dipped to their lowest point in nearly 7 months. This, even as variants could mean coronavirus is here to stay and we may never reach that so-called herd immunity. So how much better is it? On some recent days, entire states, including Wisconsin and West Virginia, have reported 0 new coronavirus deaths. And as we now know, New York and Chicago have vowed to reopen in the coming weeks. Joining us to discuss this and more, Dr. Shikha Jain with the University of Illinois at Chicago. So, Dr. Jain, first question to you. Are we entering a new phase of the pandemic?
I certainly hope so, Sylvia. It does look like that. With the number of vaccines going up and with the number of cases going down, the hope is that we're entering into a phase where we can start thinking of COVID-19 as something that's here with us, and we can start living with it eventually as an endemic as opposed to a pandemic where we just live with it. But again, we need to get more people vaccinated, again, as quickly as possible to keep our numbers as good as they are right now.
Okay, so if we're going to have to learn to live with it, is it possible that the virus could surge again more widely in the fall and winter when viruses like the flu typically do?
It absolutely is possible. And the reason I think it's possible is not only because just like the flu is more common during the winter months, we also have seen over the last year with the pandemic that if people aren't following the same risk mitigations, if we're not getting the numbers down, then the virus has the ability to spread. These new variants can take hold that get around the vaccines. So a lot of it depends on human behavior and making sure, again, we keep our vaccine numbers up, because in order for us to keep it under control and prevent these surges, we're going to need to continue to increase the number of people vaccinated, including kids, as soon as they're able to get vaccinated, which it sounds like will be hopefully soon for some of our children.
Right. Okay. Yesterday, the makers of Moderna announced that it's confident the booster that it's working on is going to be effective against the new variants. And now Pfizer says it's testing the efficacy of its new booster targeting all these different variants. So if and when these new boosters are approved, when would those who've already been vaccinated have to get it?
So we know the data right now is that the vaccines work for at least 6 months and likely longer. It's proposed that most people, if the boosters, when they become approved, will likely need to get a booster within the first 12 months of getting their 2 doses if it's Moderna or Pfizer, or the 1 dose if it's the Johnson & Johnson. So likely within the first 12 months, although we'll know more once the booster is actually approved and released, but likely within the first 12 months after getting that full regimen of the first round of your vaccine.
Okay, now here's a question for you. Walt Disney World just announced it's ending temperature checks for staff and guests at the resort. And recent research has shown that temperature checks, while they may be harmless, may have limited, if any, value at all. But when you go to restaurants, we're being checked. Some people have to take them before they go to work every morning. Is it time to give these temperature checks up?
Well, the temperature checks have been there since the beginning of the pandemic, and we have said for several months that they likely aren't that effective at capturing the majority of cases of COVID, because as we know, many people who have COVID don't have symptoms, and many people, even if they do have symptoms, may never get a fever. So the temperature checks aren't that effective, and I wouldn't use them to say, okay, you can come in if you don't have a fever and then you can take off your mask. The temperature checks are not invasive, so if people feel that by having them in place, they remind people that they need to continue following the other risk mitigation strategies, I don't think there's a problem with keeping them in place, but I don't think that they're necessary. I think the other things like vaccines and wearing masks and trying to social distance and following the other risk mitigation protocols are much more important than these temperature checks.
Okay, Dr. Shikha Jain with the University of Illinois Chicago, as always, thank you, and have a wonderful Mother's Day weekend with your family. It's going to be different this year, which will be nice. Great to see you.
You too, Sylvia.